Okay, welcome everyone to the next discussion. My name is Anni Erkko. I'm the managing editor of Talouselämä magazine, the biggest Nordic magazine covering business issues. And today I have a great lineup of speakers. We are talking about the future of Finnish tech. And let me introduce our great speakers first. First we have Jonas Trindler, the CEO of Futurice. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And then we have Mikael Nylund, the CEO of Gofore.
Hi.
In the middle we have Pekka Horo, the CEO of Reaktor.
Hello.
And Pekka has a fan club as well. Great. And then we have Ossi Lindroos, the CEO of Solita.
Good morning, or maybe morning.
Okay, so globally we all know that technology is shaping every sector, and Finland is no exception. But our tech sector is quite big. We have a lot of companies, and we want to know what will the sector look like in the future. But just to start, let's go through a bit about the current situations. What has been the biggest changes in your sector in the last few years? Maybe you can start.
Yeah, I think that the whole industry of ours, and I think that you can broadly call it as a industry of digital transformation, transforming customers to be successful in digital space. I think that from the financial crisis up until, let's say, 2 or 3 years ago, it was really like supply constrained. So there was more demand, more customers willing to do stuff than there was actual developers or consultants to serve them with. And I think that now the sort of last couple of years has been a more toward like transition towards more, let's say, demand constrained market where customers are a bit like maybe less well invested or have challenges themselves and are sort of postponing or pushing the investments further. And I think that it has first and foremost, of course, been affecting our industry companies' success, but also it has affected the kind of the larger ecosystem of like how do we think about our businesses as well. So at least that's a big change. And naturally there's a sort of technological shift as well that we are seeing now through the sort of AI and all that, and that has been starting to reinvent or redesign the business we're in. But at least these two things are affecting us all now.
Okay, so before you had customers coming from everywhere, and now it's more tough. Pekka, how does this affect your day-to-day work, the new situation in the market?
So first of all, very much agree with what you said. Those are the trends. I think how it affects our day-to-day life is obviously a lot more focus on sales, solution selling, understanding our clients' businesses more deeply. I think in this economic environment, and maybe you have seen, I think, a good report from McKinsey on especially Finnish companies' growth challenge. I think many of the companies are really carefully thinking where they're going to invest money, and that also touches digital investments. So I think we need to understand how we can bring value to our clients very quickly, whether it's growing businesses or reducing cost or managing risks in a different way. So I think as companies, we all need to become even more in tune with the client's business and understand how we can bring value quickly with digital.
Okay, Mikael, how do you see it? What has changed in your work because of the situation? What's the line that you have for the customers who don't want to invest anymore?
Yeah, first of all, I agree with Ossi and Pekka on all the subjects. And what I think, in addition to what Pekka said about how we need to think about creating value for customers, there's the competitive situation. And we may be not that used to operating in a competitive environment because of what Ossi explained from earlier. So that those challenges us all how we create value for the customers. And of course, key is what Pekka said. We need to understand what the customer's real life situation, what the problem is, and well, managing that, leading that's probably the biggest question. It's not only about understanding kind of sales and the customer facing work. It's about a culture changing company also, because the earlier, let's say, past 10 years, 15 years culture has been more about creating an employee-centric company, which is not the same as it doesn't have to be completely different from a customer-centric company, but there's the combination of these that we need to of course, change the mindset, change the culture of people towards.
Is this a difficult change for the employees?
At least it takes time, I think. I'm not sure it's difficult as such, but it does take time.
Okay, Jonas, how do you see the transition of the industry? What has changed in your company?
So first of all, I would very much agree with the three of you. Maybe to add two things, here in Finland, price competition is hard. So we have seen a decrease in prices over the last few years that definitely have created competition. And all of a sudden, companies like ours, we compete on the same deals. Beforehand, the market was big enough and we were all flourishing to grow. Coming from outside, and I'm rather new to the Finnish market, have started at the end of last year, I'm surprised how many labels we have here in the Finnish market that actually do the same, claim to be different, but nevertheless we still do very much the same. So it has become almost kind of a street fight here, where we fight for the same business in the Finnish market. And the second perspective I would love to add is more the global perspective. Economy, so whilst we were talent restricted in the past years, and we were also venturing out nearshore, offshore locations, all of a sudden we also look for our own crew here in Finland, how we can engage those first before we engage another office. And I think that balance to strike right, local versus global or nearshore, has become even more difficult nowadays.
Okay, so that's an interesting topic, that there are too many companies in your sector. That's quite a provocative. What do the other gentlemen have to say about this?
Well, we had time to discuss about that a bit before we kicked off this, and I kind of understand it, but also like how we have dealt with this at Solita is that since 2017 we have been pushing our thinking and approach by building something outside Finland, and so we are not sort of that much bothered about us being somewhat similar on this market, but we have then thought that okay, there is growth opportunities still in Finland, but also outside, and I think that I'm encouraging the rest of the gang here to take sort of further steps on the international journey, because what we've seen now and why we are less affected by the downturn now is that we have 1,000 heads outside Finland. It's more than 100 million euro business. It sort of balances out maybe the challenges on some other markets.
Maybe to add a different perspective, so international growth definitely important for Reaktor as well, but maybe it's a good opportunity, since we're in the Ecosystem Café, to talk about the ecosystem. So the Reaktor ecosystem is maybe a slightly different approach or take on the same topic. So we have over 40 companies as part of the ecosystem collaborating and partnering in ways that we can create more impact than any one of the companies, including Reaktor, could by itself. So I think one approach to look at this is that how can we build networks of expertise that can then serve bigger clients and bigger opportunities. So in some ways, having more is more.
So how do you see it, Mikael? Are you eyeing up on buying your rivals off the markets to get less companies?
I think what Jonas said is, of course, valuable for us that are more like coming from inside the industry and looking at it that way. But what I also said to Jonas just here before is that looking at the situation 5 years ago, we were even more similar, I think. So from my perspective, each company is trying to or is finding their own way, their own path, and they are different. And I believe that's something that is important not only for building business and for the strategy, but also for employees to find like that we are different companies, and we should be able to tell the potential employees also what kind of business each company is doing.
How do you see the situation in Finnish tech? Is the industry still attractive for employees? Because we've seen that there are some layoffs and your companies have had to cut off people. Is it still an inspiring industry for people to come and work?
Well, I've said many times that we will be coding for next 100 years. It will be very different. There will be a lot of different kinds of ways to do it. It has been like that since 50s. So it has evolved throughout different decades. And I really hope that people see this as an opportunity to really like create impactful things for the customers and societies also in the future. And it's not a narrow place, so we all employ designers, strategists, project leads, architects, software engineers, data scientists, and so forth. So it's not one sort of group of people, but it's a very varied bunch of folks that we are attracting, and we definitely hope that even if there is a downturn and people are being laid off and so forth, so that it's also seen as the future place to work.
I would maybe add that, at least from my perspective, it's maybe become an even more interesting place. I think as long as we can provide our employees with autonomy and agency to be able to really influence their own work and tackle the big challenges or opportunities our clients have, and win exciting projects with our clients that are really at the core of their business. In every industry, companies are really changing the world. We're using digitalization to accelerate their path. And I think for talented experts, the opportunity to make an impact, have autonomy, and learn and challenge yourself every day with some of the biggest challenges and opportunities we face in every industry, I don't think it could be any more exciting. At the same time, there's of course a lot of disruption. How will AI change the way we work? I think it's going to have an impact also in our business, but I think that we can definitely benefit more, and there's more opportunity than risk in this change.
Jonas has a comment.
Yeah, very much so. I think the attractiveness working in tech will only accelerate. Hypes like AI, they will change fundamentally the way how our businesses are run, our very own one, professional service firms, but even our clients. And I think that is very inspiring. I mean, if I look at our own team, but I also look what my peers are doing, such amazing things, products that we use on our day-to-day basis, the moment we get up and use a public railway, or the moment we travel somewhere, or engage with government. I think these are impactful journeys where our employees are super proud and see a purpose as well. They can have an impact that they can also share with friends, families, and in the wider society.
Yep. Technology is the future, so I'm not concerned in the long run. However, the unemployment situation, I think it's a little bit worrying in some ways, and especially looking at it from a junior expert point of view. If you come to the industry right now, it's not the best time, and for us, of course, who are big players in the industry, it's a responsibility to make sure that they don't get let out.
What can your industry do about the junior problem? We've all heard about that the junior level workplaces are the first ones to go usually. So do you have solutions?
Yeah, we have run a academy programs for young ones or like early on their careers since 2018. So every year we are welcoming more than 100 Solitans through our academy programs. And even though it has been harder to get the sort of academians to find customer assignments, we are not about to stop that process because we believe that we definitely want to have them with us. Of course, like especially when there is like generative AI assisted programming or like different kinds of tools emerge, then we have to we have to have the capabilities to educate the young ones also to the architectures and information secure way of programming and so forth. But as I said before, there's so many other sort of expertise areas that we will need. We just need to be sort of very active towards the younger communities that there is always something for them to join and talk about the matter and then welcome the young ones.
Yeah, maybe to add, so first of all, Mikael definitely recognized the same topic as you, and I think in the market, especially in Finland for the last couple of years, many of the clients are looking at the most senior experts to hire for projects, and my hope and of course great ambition is that we would be able to bring full teams to the clients to work on projects, and when we have that opportunity, I think then we can also have more junior talent. But even in this context, we had summer trainee program this summer, and we had great success in getting these people into projects. But it takes a lot more effort. It takes more planning. You need to think how the more senior people on the team can then support and dedicate time to help these individuals. But definitely, it's a tougher moment right now than it was maybe a few years ago.
Jonas, what do you think?
I have a slightly different nuanced view on that compared to Ossi. Whilst we also invest in upskilling our workforce, our teams, I think I'm not too worried about the juniors. They will show us the way forward. They use their new tools, AI tools, day in, day out, and I'm often surprised what magic they can do with that.
Good.
And on the other hand, from board level, all our clients and our industry also gets a lot of strong push. Yeah, we have to use AI nowadays. And I'm worried about the middle. And big tech companies nowadays have larger layoffs in the middle management. So without the content, without the traditional management is maybe at risk. So I think that will only fuel us, the young generation using new technology will only fuel us and show us the way forward.
So AI will destroy middle management level?
To some extent, I think yes.
That's interesting.
Hopefully all can start sharing Jonas's optimism about the junior level talent that we need to employ. But I do agree with both Ossi and especially what Pekka brought up. I think it's interesting, or the question for us is, I think that we have taught the customers to buy expertise in a certain way. Yeah. We need to teach them another way. Yeah. And that I don't think we have solved this yet. There's something for us all to think about.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the growth. Pekka already mentioned the McKinsey report on Finnish companies not growing enough, and that actually the leaders are to blame for this. I have 4 leaders here, so I would really love to hear what's the problem. Why are you not growing enough?
Define enough. Well, I think that our industry, of course, is in that kind of a demand shock, and especially when you are like in a country, like our take has been a bit different since we've been pushing so much abroad, and we are not impacted that much about the economy. We're still almost double-digit grower even this year. So what I encourage everyone to do, and I think that the McKinsey report also encourages Finnish entrepreneurs and companies to look for businesses outside Finland, because we have so much to offer. We have like such a cool technologies in all of our capability areas, and so good companies that could do so much more on an international scale. It just needs you need to be brave, you need to be sort of thoughtful, but you need to go out and build the growth. And also I think that there is like selecting the areas that you work with is very essential. And now, for instance, data and AI capability area is growing a lot still in these circumstances, and maybe the traditional software engineering or like building the applications and channels and platforms, maybe that has been a bit more challenging. So like diversifying the portfolio, what you are offering, and then going after customers not only in Finland but also abroad. That would be my recipe for Finnish R sector customers and companies to be successful with.
Go on, Pekka. How do you plan to grow your business better?
So I think definitely the international growth aspect is something we're focused on. It's not that it's easy, because of course there's heavy competition and we don't have the same brand recognition that we do, for instance, in Finland. But I think there's a lot to be said about the way we build multidisciplinary teams, the way we tackle challenges that's very different from many of the bigger system integrators that partner with large companies. So I think there's definitely a unique asset that we can all take from Finland to grow internationally. The other aspect is that there's heavy growth in certain pockets. For instance, we're investing heavily in defense and security, which obviously with Finland being a member of NATO and the global situation is giving a lot of opportunity for growth both in Finland as well as internationally. And then thirdly, I think we need to start to look at the blending of traditional consulting and products. The AI and the agentic models start to blend. What do you anymore call a product, and what's consulting purely and custom software? So I think that's going to offer opportunities for expanding and scaling business in a completely different way. So those would at least be three different things to look at.
How do you see it, Mikael? In the McKinsey report, it stated that leaders are too focused on dividends and profitability and not focused enough on growth. How do you see it? Is your table full of growth aspirations, or are you more focused on other stuff?
All of us here are in the professional services industry, so basically I think we will have growth in the industry as long as the economy grows. So it's kind of easy in that sense. What's difficult and a little bit worrying is how Finnish companies, Finnish organizations in general invest. And probably that is a problem of leadership, it's a problem of ownership, it's a problem of many things. So just blaming the leaders, I'm not sure about that, but I think this is the bigger picture. And for us in Finland, we need to use the strong expertise we have in technology in many ways and export that. We need to export products from Finland that are digitally enabled, and that's what we've been working with quite a lot with the manufacturing industry, with mobile machinery and so forth. We need to have a stronger export of software business as such, SaaS business and software as a service business, and that's not something that Finland has necessarily excelled in, and that's really important. But we could also be better at exporting services as such, and that's what I think we all try to do, and at least what we at Gofore want to do, because we see the expertise, the knowledge that we have in Finland as such an asset when we look towards Europe, and that's something that is a competitive asset that we could use more.
Is the Finnish mentality too modest? Should we be braver?
Absolutely.
Ossi has a comment.
I have this is for us all as parents, leaders, and so forth. What I'm very worried about is that we are less and less international here in Finland. Like Erasmus student numbers are going down. People are not that like actively searching for international assignments anymore, and like in a way, because we are here on an island, far away from, let's say, rest of the Western Europe or Central Europe. We should be, as leaders, as parents, as a society, pushing people to take that step, like the young ones, to be more international and so forth, because this is a bit more profound, the challenge, because if we think that the growth is outside Finland, we need to be outside Finland. So if we just sort of wash our shirts over and over again, it doesn't bring any growth and not long-term value.
Thank you. Jonas, you had a comment also on this topic.
So first of all, I think in our industry, our business need to grow. So I often get that question as well from employees, why do we need to grow? And I think we want to grow growth opportunities, growth mindset for our employees, and in the end, where they can learn and grow in their careers. But I think for me also, not residing and not being Finnish, I think it was eye-opening to read the McKinsey report because I had an aha moment coming into Finland every now and then and seeing the perspective here too. But maybe a disclaimer, you could write a similar report also on other countries first. But really I think the ambition level is a topic, the international perspective. We don't find a lot of talent, leaders who are keen to work abroad. I've personally built business the last decade in Asia, Singapore, Hong Kong, and I've learned a very multidisciplined facet how to build business in a very dynamic market. And I think Finland doesn't really exist on many companies' landscape. And on the other hand, if we go abroad jointly and have our Finnish brand, I think no one is waiting for us. So it's a completely different game than in our home market on our island here. And I think I see the growth opportunity, especially outside.
Yeah.
So if we think about your industry in a few years' time, what will change in the next few, let's say 5 years? Pekka, you start.
So first of all, I'm an optimist. So I think that the market in Finland, and we've talked about international growth, where the world is open for us to take. But I think the market will hopefully change, and we'll have some of the trends that we've now faced in the last 2 years ease off, and we'll probably see a healthier demand situation. But if I take a slightly longer perspective, I think what is incredibly important right now is for Finland to develop capabilities and skills for us to succeed as a nation. And I'm worried. I'm a parent of 4 kids. 3 of my kids go to school, and they're basically told not to use AI, and it's almost banned in schools. I think we should take a completely different approach and think how we can use our education system to build the most skilled people to utilize AI, whether it's in citizen services, digital citizen services, or how when these individuals enter the workforce, how we have the employees that are most equipped to deal with AI, and whatever the evolution of that is. So I think it's a mindset question that we need to adopt more broadly. Be more brave and lean in to the future rather than try to hold back.
And be proud of what we do. I mean, we do so many great things here. We have the best education system around the globe, but sometimes we're a bit too modest.
True.
In 5 years' time, you asked. I think I'm with Pekka here as an optimist. Also, I think that we will have the investments, we will have the customer demand, we will have growth in our industry. What I hope will remain from this a little bit tougher period is that we challenge each other. We are a little bit more competitive. We try to constantly think about the value that we create for the customers and the value how the customers perceive the value, and that's something that I think we've all been forced to learn a little bit, and hopefully we will not forget that.
How do you see, Jonas? Will we have as many companies in the sector in 5 years' time? You mentioned that there are too many.
It's a big bet, and we can debate on that. I believe in a consolidation here in the Finnish market that sooner or later will happen. We have too many leaders, not enough ambitious people who want to lead with the content. I think that will eventually also go back to an international growth game.
I get this question a lot because we are a publicly listed company, and I talk quite a lot to investors, and they are interested in consolidation, and I do see that point of view. On the other hand, I would not overlook the differences in culture in companies. Consolidation is not an easy game.
Ossi, how do you see the future?
Well, so much was said already, but I think the future is bright. So there will be new tools, new ways of working, new methods when delivering value, not in 5 years, but in 2 years, maybe next year. But there will be so much work for us all. But we just need to be better in sort of bringing that value in front of our customers to be truly like finding successes for them and being good in articulating that to the wider community, and it will be good.
And what kind of growth rates will we see in companies?
Well, I think the whole, like our industry, I don't think that we should be satisfied. If it's not double-digit growth, go home.
Perfect.
I like that.
I like that. That's a nice way to stop the conversation. We do have some time for questions from the audience, and we also have some mics provided. So does anyone have anything to ask from our speakers? Go ahead.
Gentlemen, hello. My name is Juan Pablo. I'm from Peru. I was wondering what kind of, if you're looking to Latin American market to expand your business. Nowadays, I think it's kind of easier to do business in Latin America, Brazil, Argentina. You know, there's a lot of market, a lot of potential. So have you been seeing opportunities in Latin America to grow your business in there?
Well, I can start. We have been offered quite a many acquisition targets or companies that have substantial business in Latin America. But so far our approach has been that we are first and foremost a European company with European focus. However, it's an opportunity in the longer run maybe to think other geographies as well, but we're at least at the moment stuck to Europe.
Let's take Mikael first, and then Pekka and Jonas.
That's an interesting question, and we've been engaging in several discussions from a point of view of building digital societies. I think the Nordic countries and Finland as a leading digital society is a country where many, including Latin American countries, are looking to learn something, and that's of course inspiring. Doing business halfway around the globe is not maybe the easiest way to start the internationalization, but we have done some small project with at least what I can remember, Argentina.
So first of all, thank you for coming all the way from Peru to visit us here in Finland. So from our perspective, we work, and our aspiration is to work with the most demanding and let's say forward-leaning organizations in the world. And we don't distinguish as such between whether the companies where they should come from, but there is of course a talent link. So we have our talents working out of Europe from a few hubs. We have an office in New York, and we have an office in Japan. So of course that sets some limitations. But I would say maybe the closest connection to Latin America at the moment is that many of our US clients have talent, nearshore talent in Latin America, and we're all considering that how we can better partner to serve our clients better, but definitely would be open to working with some great brands from Latin America.
Jonas, go ahead.
Most likely similar to Pekka. US-based clients, they seek talent in a similar time zone. I think we as a company, we're not yet used to 7+ hours of time difference. That brings quite a bit of new challenges as well. On the other hand, we have offices in Portugal, Lisboa and Porto, Portuguese-based talent. Brazil, just being on the other side of the ocean, I think is somehow also attractive, but we haven't really set a foot on the ground yet.
Do we have any more questions from the audience? At the back, please.
Hi, thank you for the excellent panel discussion. Lauri Sippola from Gosta Labs. This question is to Pekka. I today read an announcement of Reaktor's investment into a healthcare AI company called Gosta Labs. Why is that?
We love to work and partner with very ambitious and skilled teams that are using digital to disrupt or advance their specific industries. And I think Gofore is a great example of such a company, and we wanted to take the opportunity to accelerate their journey. And looking forward to others that meet this high criteria. So very happy about that.
Thank you for the question. Do we have any other questions from the audience? Perfect. The audience is totally satisfied with the panel, so let's give a round of applause for our great panel today.
Thank you very much for the CEO panel. We will continue at 1:55 here with our Cafe Stage program with Microsoft Cluster as well as SOC. So welcome and see you there.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
So you've got one of those this better go well or never been done before challenges and you need to solve it? Reactor it. We mean plan it, map it, sketch it, second guess and criticize it. Even the brief, especially the brief. Dream it, see it bigger, more. Not what you ask, but what you were really looking for. Let's build it, code it, load it, assess, process, redress, explode it. Test it, try it, make sure it works, make sure it scales, make sure that the critical piece never fails. Comments, feedback, got it, great. Of course we iterate, reshape it, break it, debug it, debug it, debug it, debug it. Damn it, there, wow, it's even better now. We solved it, nailed it, made it, now tease it, hype it, launch it, celebrate it. Chug it, go! Make it happen, make it famous, make it the best damn it you've ever made. Got a challenge? Reactor it.